Alright, today's topic is going to be on radical feminism, which is women trying to boycott systems of male supremacy, aka the patriarchy. And I truly believe we will never live in a world where men and women are considered equal sexes. So, the only way to prevent harm against women is to avoid participating in things that massively benefit men over women. And I have a couple things written down that do so. In order to create a world where less women are enslaved to the patriarchy, we must avoid marriage with men, casual sex with men, religion, having children, cooking for men, cleaning for men, modesty culture where we slut shame women for what they wear, being anti-trans, because all the arguments that lead men to be anti-trans are simply misogynistic. And then they start seeing cis women who have male features as trans, and they get attacked. And cis women who are biologically different and show male characteristics are said to be trans. And now they're making laws of looking into children's pants in schools so they can play a fucking sport. Being anti-trans is going to hurt cis women as well as trans women. So, the radical feminists that are like TERFs, you're a fucking idiot. We also must boycott this idea that submissiveness is being in service to another person or completely depending on a man to protect you. We must reevaluate why the beauty standards for women are to be thin, because men want women to be thin and weak to overpower us. And we must not use language that throw women under the bus, like calling a woman a bitch. Just a couple things on the top of my head. For women who believe that their biological duty is to be a wife and a mother, you are a victim of the patriarchy. since little girls could walk, were given baby dolls to take care of and kitchen toys to groom us into a mentality that our job is to take care of others and provide for them. Through cooking and cleaning. And if we choose any life other than that, we are not fulfilling our roles. And I think that's bullshit, you know? The reason why women mature faster is because we are held to a standard that men are not. Little boys are not. For the rest of our life. And there's women out there who would betray any solidarity with womanhood, where they would have to take radical actions to shape the world differently from what it is, over some dick. And I think that's pathetic. But love and pleasure, like, they're all part of human life. Have you seen how, like, men talk about having sex with women? Why are you establishing such an emotional and spiritual connection while physically interacting with a man? Because they themselves shout from rooftops that they see as sex. They see sex as a degrading act for women. That is done to a woman, not with a woman. So all these women who boast about casual sex and using men, they're going home and telling their boys that they just cracked a fucking hoe. Please. That's not how you're talking about men. And it does sound like victim blaming when we tell women that, listen, we've warned you, we have pattern recognition, you avoided red flags, you've seen the statistics, yet you still have faith that you can somehow be prettier, smarter, wealthier, and luckier to not be harmed by a man. That's on you. We warned you, and you still went ahead and put yourself in a situation where you could be hurt by a man. That's victim blaming, really. But we are so too much aware of what men do to us. So we have responsibilities to not let them have what they want from us, which is to use our body and to be enslaved to them. So even if women completely ignore men romantically and sexually, they can still fall victim to rape in the streets. But a huge chunk of cases come from within the home by family members, friends, and partners. So when we tell you to boycott having sex with men and dating men, we are removing a huge chunk of risk where you can get hurt. And if you can't imagine a life without a man, you don't have enough hobbies. You don't have enough friends. You don't have any other purpose. Really? You just want to be like a body to someone? To be used? Stuck in the house with kids? Have so many opportunities taken from you and so many rights taken away from you just by submitting to male supremacy and systems? You've watched your mothers, you've watched your sisters, you've watched your female friends be slapped around, abused, and shamed, and you still want to participate in this shit? You need a backbone. You need a dildo. We can survive happily without men. They are projecting onto us. They're the ones that are gonna die ugly and alone while we live our lives. So, boycott marriage, sex, religious practices that are misogynistic, having children, cooking for men, cleaning for men, dressing in certain ways to please men, or modesty culture, hating on trans women, even though majority of the people hurting us are cis men, and trans women and cis women are being hurt by men. This idea of needing to be submissive. This idea of needing to be thin. And that femininity is being fragile and soft. Using words that disrespect women against women, like bitch and slut, whore. So from the top of my head, that's what I could come up with as advice for women who want to participate in radical change in their lives, to decenter men and break away from the patriarchy, where they could be put into systems of male supremacy that could end up harming them and using them and disrespecting them and possibly killing them. So one movement, such as the 4B movement in South Korea, has now evolved to the 6B 4T movement, which is the same four principles of not having sex with men, not dating men, not having children, and not getting married to men. And it has now started conversations about refusing to consume media that is objectifying of women and dehumanizing of women, such as sexualized animes and manga. And yeah, even we're talking about makeup, how it's been conditioned for girls to think that once we have acne on our face that we should put on concealer, that we should stick to strict beauty standards of what it means to be a pretty woman. And yeah, I don't think it's fucking necessary, because men were never conditioned to believe that their bodies were meant to be painted over just to be accepted by society. So yeah, you have to really understand how even the smallest things that we consider everyday actions of ourselves as something that could be participating in a system that ends up hurting us. So it is that fucking serious. If you do wear makeup every single day, you are participating in such a enslaved mindset that you have to look a certain way just to be human. Like, I'm scared to be a YouTuber and put my face on the internet because I'm a woman. And if I'm ugly, like, that's the end of my career. Men are allowed to be ugly as shit, have cockroaches crawling up all over their bed frames and chairs, and say the most bigoted bullshit ever and get millions of views. Because they're allowed to be seen as human, no matter what they look like, no matter what they do. But we don't have any of that grace given to us. So of course I cover my face to not look like I have chubby cheeks. Of course I take so much time, like, making sure the lighting's right, just to feel like I can fucking talk about shit that's oppressive to me. And all these people who are like, no, this is too radical, like, what else? Like, what else do you think we can do besides stay the fuck away from men, romantically and sexually? And focus on female friendships and our careers and making the world a better fucking place. It's not always just sex and looking for the one. Because no perfect man fucking exists. No one's gonna save you, bro. We grew up watching fucking princess movies, and the real men out there are beating the shit out of us. Forget everything you fucking know. Be cautious and refuse to participate in things that have harmed women. You don't need to get married. You don't need a boyfriend. You don't need to have children. Like, none of that shit is real. And really, you want to start a family in a world that's fucking collapsing, bro? what grass is going to be left for them to walk on? So if you genuinely do care about the future and your future children, don't fucking have any. Alright. But I love women. I love women. Okay? I'm sure there's decent men out there that we can have as friends. But even that, you know, don't lean in too much, because we really don't need men at all. We need each other. Every time there's a viral video of a woman being attacked, it's mothers and female strangers that come in to save the fucking day. Everything that we envision in our men is needed in us. So get fucking buff as shit. Get smarter. You know? We need radical movements. We need to make massive changes in our lives for a change to show up in the entire world. Boycott boys, bro. I don't like choice feminism, because y'all be choosing some bullshit. And when women lower their standards just to date people, that gives men the opportunity to be pieces of shit. Because there's gonna be a girl out there who just needs some fucking dick to function, apparently, who's gonna engage with him. It's all about supply and demand, okay? Do not give the supply. Carry a knife too.